Blue Show. We are just getting confirmation that we have gone live. We are live. The technology is working for us, Dan. This is good. Hey, we're on the right track, aren't we, technology?
Well, you say that. I've only just installed internet here in York.
You're looking to have a phone line. You'll get a mobile phone next year. You'll be well lucky with that, won't you?
One of them.
Oh, it's good to see you, pal. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. It's nearly Friday, nearly the weekend, and what have you.
Nearly. It's so close to being Friday. It's bonkers. And you know what? Have you found? Now I'm South Manchester, and it's just not stopped raining. I don't know what it is. I know Manchester's known for rain. I know we're known for a bit of wetness. Obviously, we love a bit of water over this neck of the woods, don't we? Which is fine. Over this side of the Pennines, the right side of the Pennines, I will add. But it's just not stopped raining. I don't know what it is. It's every time I go to bed, it's raining. I wake up, it's raining. I go for a run, raining. I don't know what it is in the minute. Is it always like this time of year, or is it just this particular year where 2020 just absolutely hates every last bit of us?
Well, you say that, we seem to be going through the 4 seasons here in Yorkshire. But yeah, we had, I think, 16 to 20 degrees on Saturday/Sunday, I think. Then absolutely battering it down Monday. Then Tuesday, Wednesday was ice cold. And then today it was snowing about 10 miles north of us. It's been chucking it down here all day. And then about 5-10 miles south of us in Selby, if you've heard of that place.
I know Selby, yeah. I know Selby, yeah.
It's been bright sunshine here all day. And so we've had all surrounding autumn, so God knows what's been happening.
Did you just say it's snowing 10 miles north of York?
Snowing. There was pictures at about 6:30 this morning of complete white over everywhere.
Oh, it's coming.
Mental.
It's coming. Sorry if we were late for people. We normally doing it a lot earlier than this. I'm normally going to bed about 9 o'clock. I'm up that early. I've had a right drama trying to set up my mum's TV because we bought my mum a joint Christmas birthday present with my siblings. Got her a new TV, and if there was ever an epitome of somebody that doesn't understand technology and somebody getting frustrated with trying to explain technology to somebody, it's me and my mum. Honestly. I explained it as simply as possible, trying to get up to Netflix, because she's very set in her ways, my mum. Absolutely. Love her to bits, obviously. We're bubbling, so all COVID secure, all the rest of it, before anyone starts whinging. We're all fine from that side of things. So getting this TV set up for her and showing her how to work Netflix. She loves telly, my mum. She doesn't do much, she doesn't go out much, she just loves watching telly. So I thought, you know what? Netflix for my mum would be an absolute godsend. You know, she can watch The Crown, she can watch not the Queen's Diary. Oh, what's that chess one that's just come out? It's brilliant. The Queen's Gambit. Have you got Netflix?
I do, but it's not my cup of tea, all that stuff.
Try it. Just watch the Queen's Gambit. It's a really good show. You probably don't like it, do you? You like what's that fishing program you watch?
Deadliest Catch.
Deadliest Catch. Is that still on?
Yeah. Season 16 or 17, one of the two.
Do you do much fishing?
I used to. It's my brother that does it now. I'm the more sport one of the family. Football and F1 for me. My brother's more Newcastle, if you can call that football, and fishing.
Speaking of F1, before you crack on, that crash was horrendous at the weekend.
Yeah, a video popped up online this afternoon of him going around the Bahrain circuit, standing and everything. His hands are still in cast and everything, but he was thanking all the medical team and all that rushed to his aid. And he even thanked one of the stewards that ran across the operational racetrack with the fire extinguisher that sprayed it on the barrier for him to climb through. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have seen where to go.
So I've seen pictures with his hands in bubble wrap, hasn't he? Is that because he's burnt his fingers?
Yeah, it's not serious burns, but it's got protective gel inside the cast, which he's got to keep on permanently.
Right.
Obviously with your daily changes, but yeah, he's going to make a full recovery, which is nice to see.
He was smiling as well the day after as well, wasn't he? So it's obviously I think I see F1 drivers very similar to goalkeepers. They have to be a bit bonkers.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. You're sitting on a fuel tank, for Christ's sake. That's the only reason it went up in flames. The car split.
The car split in two, didn't it? How's it? Yeah. I don't know I know this isn't great podcast or YouTube experience. I realise, but if you get a chance, if you've not seen this crash on F1, have a look on Twitter and just F1 crash. The car literally splits in two, and the immediate area is engulfed in a fireball, and the guy driving jumps out of his car and just strolls across to the safety car. It's surreal. It's like something from a film.
Yeah, it's the only reason it split is because the front cockpit, which has now got the newly designed halo that goes over, that most of the F1 drivers were against, held the cockpit in place. But as it went through the barrier, it went literally in the middle of the barrier, through the barrier. The barrier stopped the back of the car, which has got the higher bit past the cockpit, ripped that off, and the cockpit with the halo went through the barrier, and that's the bit that set alight. But when the car split, the fuel pipe was running underneath the cockpit, and that's why it all exploded.
Well, he's
very
lucky boy, isn't he? He's a very lucky boy. Just a quick shout out to people watching on YouTube. Thank you very much. We're now at 581 subscribers. Do you remember the days when we had like 150 and 200 subscribers on YouTube? And we've just seemed to have exploded massively. So it's obviously all the good content. And do you know what? It's your commentary as well, pal. The commentaries you do. I know I keep stroking your ego a little bit, but honestly, the commentaries you do are fantastic. So well done to you, pal. And we've hit
more the rants.
Well, we love a rant, don't we? Where's Chris? We miss Chris and his rants. If you're listening to that, Chris, get on, pal. Come on, we miss you, buddy. Thanks for that, mate. You're doing a fantastic job. And Facebook, we're at over 104,000 likes now on our Facebook page. Bonkers.
Brilliant.
We must be doing something right. Here's another thing to stroke our ego. Our podcast, The Manchester is Blue Show, for anybody listening. And hello to all podcast listeners as well who will be listening to this. We've had 10,400 downloads of our podcast since we started going. We've got 124 episodes. 10,400 people. Downloads of this. And I'm sure about 9,000 of them are for me. But so this is
I'll make up the other 1,000.
So if you are listening to this on a podcast, thank you. And one thing you could do a favour for me now, pause the show, go to your podcast subscriber, scroll down, give us 5 stars, minimum 4 if you're not doing a great job, 5 if you think we're doing a great job, great job, if you think we deserve it, obviously, and leave us a little message to let us know what you're doing and how you're doing and how you think we're getting on, because it really counts, and we're getting loads of people downloading the podcast. People aren't listening to us, mate. What's going on?
The controversy. Love
the controversy. Right, so we get cracking then, because I'm digressing massively. I want to go to bed. We're going to start off with a Who Am I? Okay, I've made this. You're quite good at these.
I'm rubbish at these.
I think you might get this, but if you don't get it, don't worry. I'll give you the answer at the end. So don't shout it out if you think you might know who it is. So this player started his career at River Plate. Okay, so he's over that neck of the woods. Then went to Bayern Munich. Then to Malaga. Then Atletico Madrid. Then joined City. Oh, he's smiling. I think he knows it. Then he left City, went to Espanyol.
Know it.
Yeah, and then he's currently with Malaga. I think he might be currently still playing. I'm not 100% sure. So River Plate, Bayern Munich, Malaga, Atletico, City, Espanyol, then back to Malaga. We'll give you the answer later, but by the look at the smile on your face, I think you know the answer to this.
It was the Malaga one that gave it away for me.
Was it really? Let's see what everyone else. Let's see what people are putting on Facebook. No answers just yet. Must be a tough one. This must be a tough one. Right, we're going to crack on. Bit of news and gossip. Right, so we're going to talk about top targets for Sergio Aguero replacement shortly. We'll go through a bit of news and gossip at the moment. But there's one of my targets is a massive obvious one. It's Haaland, and there's been more and more rumours about City going in for Haaland. But every club worth their salt would surely be going in for Haaland, so that can't be any decent news. I just don't think City will sign somebody of a high calibre. I just don't. We never really do that, do we? I mean, I know the Messi thing's coming around, and we've still not signed Messi, and I know you're not a great fan of what he can bring to the team, and I completely appreciate that. I'd love to sign Haaland, but I don't know. City. I think City going forward are signing the Torreses of the world, where young, got quality, but not quite made it just yet. What do you think about that?
We've got a history of that, though, haven't we? We've got the Gabriel Jesuses. If we're going to throw other positions in there, the Edisons, players like that massively go under the radar that aren't out. I mean, Jesus, they had a bit of caliber behind him. He was scoring goals for Fulham in Brazil, but he was relatively unknown, wasn't he? And I mean, what, 4 years prior to him signing for City, he was painting the streets of Brazil for the World Cup. So it shows you how far he's just suddenly come out of the blue. And let's not be, against the fact he's not an out-and-out striker, but he is one hell of a player for City now. His energy is like Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva's another one. One good season at Monaco. Not many teams went in him. I think we got him for about, 40 million? Absolute bargain for the player we got. We've got to hit past of it as well. Yaya Toure, yes, he was quality when we signed him in the first place, but he went under the radar. David Silva, we just got a history of it. We talk about it a lot on the podcast. We make world-class players. We don't sign them. But I think it's gotten to that point now where I think City are now starting to sign all the younger up-and-coming talents like your Torreses and what have you, where I think the next one is an overall finished product like Haaland. Whether it happens, it depends on the money, really.
Well, we'll talk about that in a bit more detail later. One other bit of gossip coming out here. You have to excuse me for my pronunciation of this name. Dario Samarento from Estudiantes de La Plata in Argentina. Obviously, a world-renowned name. Is attracting interest from City. A couple of days ago, it's been reported El Dia, who's the main press in that region, is reporting that a 17-year-old as imminent City signing, in excess of 20 million quid. Now, that name tells me he's going to be straight off to Girona for 2 years, and we're never going to see him again. I don't. Have you heard of this lad before? I don't know if I've done his name any justice there whatsoever. That's how much I know about him.
I think he'll be exactly the same thing as our number 2 in charge. I mean, that name is just going to get forgotten like no tomorrow. But 20 million for a 17-year-old, he's either got a hell of a lot of caliber, but at the same time, nobody. I've never seen it ever mentioned ever.
Yeah, so this lad supposedly, according to the local rag, is going to be signing for City and staying at his current club until the end of the season, and then coming into City's academy fixture type project, which tells me he's not going to get a visa straight away, is he? He'll need to go over to Italy for a couple of years to get a visa for us, won't he? That's normally how it works from Argentina for young kids, if memory serves me right.
I don't know about that, but I think there's got to be something in terms of joining up with City for, like I said, 20 million. Then again, Jan Couto signed for 14 million, didn't he? And he seems to have just completely disappeared. Well, I think he's at Girona now himself, isn't he?
He is, and that's a disappointing one. I was looking forward to seeing him, and he's just gone. He could probably do a job for us now, actually.
Well, is he a right back, Couto?
I'm sure, from our point of view, he could. Maybe not actually. We've got Cancelo, Walker. We've got plenty of options at right back. I can see why Couto's gone abroad. But then we have to ask the question: why have we signed him? Are we just going to do that football factory thing where we're signing another young lad to make a profit off him?
Well, that would be probably the same question I'd ask if we do sign this lad for 20 million. Because if we're signing a striker, he's a striker, wasn't he? Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, attacking, forward.
If we sign him for 20 million and he goes on loan somewhere after we've properly signed him, he's part of the club, and we don't see his name in the next 4 years, I'd be fuming. That's 20 million that could go on a first-team striker that we desperately need. And 20 million for a 17-year-old kid, I think that's either absolute rubbish or City have had the pants pulled down. Because Gabriel Jesus, he came with a bit of hype. He was scoring goals for fun, but this lad I've never ever heard of, and I'd love to know his goal tally for his team or his youth team, whatever it is.
It's a funny one. Chris Fons, hiya Christoph, hope you're doing well, pal. He would have kept Angelino. There's a massive argument for Angelino staying. My thoughts. I wasn't his greatest fan after the United game where he got tore apart. He's not doing too bad at the moment, though, is he? Maybe we just didn't give him enough of a chance.
No. Well, my feelings on him. I would have kept him. I would not have got rid of him at all. I said, best defender at our club, even with Mendy there. He got an assist the other night. He's scoring goals for them as well. He's one of them where he's still technically on loan, but they have the option to sign him. They didn't take that on in the summer. I think that's going to be one we're going to regret if they do sign him permanently.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. Right, moving on quickly. I just want to give a bit of a shout out to we've mentioned him already, Ferran Torres. 20 million from Valencia. Is getting all the press, all the rave reviews. We've got a bargain there, haven't we, in our young lad?
Deserves it massively.
Yeah, what an absolute bargain we've got on our hands there. Fernandinho has came and talked about his potential leaving of City. He's done the right thing by saying he doesn't want to leave until we've won the Champions League. Good lad, that's what I like to hear. Everyone loves a pipe dream.
Without doubt. And it's so hard to comprehend how old he was when we signed him, and yet we're talking about a long-term servant that's just been almost world-class every season he's been at City. It's 28 we signed him.
Do you put him down as legendary status yet? Does he rank among the David Silvas, the Vincent Kompanys?
Not because of that. I think in terms of his position on the pitch in the modern day football era, then definitely yes. He's been arguably the greatest defensive midfielder City have had in recent times, without a shadow of a doubt. And he's been here, that's 35 now, that's 7 years. Yeah. 7 years has been enough to prove you up. Yeah.
That's bonkers.
Six or seven. It'll be 7 years in this summer of 2021.
And let's not forget he paid £4 million of his own money to leave Russian club, which was called
Shakhtar Donetsk.
Thank you.
No, that's commitment, though. I love that. City Day was on about it, wasn't he? Players that want to be at the club and are determined to get there and stay there. 6 million, 4 or 6 million, whichever one you said, to pay for your own transfer fee to get to a club that you really desperately want to be there, and still be here this late on in his career. I love that commitment.
Yeah, I'll take that all day, every day. The Premier League and the English Football League have agreed a 250 million rescue package to help ease the financial challenge faced by the EFL as a result of coronavirus. This was all kicking off, once it in relation to the United Liverpool thing, and more money needs to circulate down, doesn't it, through the... Yeah. Oh, hello, we got Dave joining the clan.
Just talking about you, Dave.
David, how are we doing, my friend?
I heard 5,000 miles away, so I thought, you know what?
It's my voice, it echoes absolutely bloody everywhere.
It really does.
We're just talking about the Premier League and the EFL coming to an agreement for a rescue package. Which is going to total
250 million, is that right?
Spot on, my friend, spot on. You read the press, that's like they like to see. It's needed, it's badly needed. I have fans of lower division clubs. I know fans of lower division clubs. There's a lot of clubs I keep an eye out just because it's a local Manchester thing, and the money's needed, isn't it? Badly.
It really is. I mean, they're so reliant on those ticket sales and and match day sales as well, that when you take all that away, they don't have the big name players. They're not selling the merchandise like the Premier League clubs are. That whatever we can do, hopefully we can support them.
Absolutely right. Dave, have you ever had a local club that you've supported?
Well, for me, because I'm a Rochdale. I was born in Rochdale, so it's always got to be my second club. I support City because of my dad and my granddad, and that's it. But I think I've joked with you lot before that if I ever won the lottery, that's what I'd want to buy Rochdale and make them into
To be fair, if you won the lottery, you would be able to actually buy Rochdale, the town.
Yeah, because I don't know how to buy City, but Rochdale is absolutely my second club. So I'd be in a real quandary if we played them in, the FA Cup or something like that. I don't know.
On a serious note,
Rochdale first half and City second half. I don't know.
On a serious note, I don't want to take it away from that sort of thing, but with this £250 million help out, whatever you want to call it, I hope, in terms of people who own these clubs, it's distributed correctly and used correctly, because the amount of clubs, i.e. your Buries, your Boltons, your Wimbledons a few years ago, your Leyton Orients, that have dropped out the Football League and now back in it. Some of these owners are going to be looking at this thinking, nice holiday here. I hope there's a legal structure behind the money. Once it's distributed, it goes to the correct things, i.e. the wages and the infrastructure.
Is that a bit of a cheap dig at United and their debts there, Dan?
Well, I don't like talking about them scumbuggers, but you've seen football in general, but yeah, them especially.
How we doing, Brian? You right, pal?
Well, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you doing, pal?
Yeah.
Just to add to what Daniel said there are a few quite badly run clubs down in both divisions, aren't they? That money doesn't necessarily go where it should do, and that would be a shame.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea of where the money's going and the differential split, the EFL will be assisted in getting. So the EFL are going to get 200 million loan for Championship clubs. This is a loan, bear in mind. And 50 million grant is going to be agreed with League 1 and League 2 clubs. So 200 million for Championship clubs, that's the divide, and then 50 million for League 1 and League 2 clubs. See, I don't know, is that retrospectively right? It seems a lot of money for the Championship compared to two other divisions below them, but saying that the two other divisions below them, they don't have as much to spend. So it potentially could be right, actually.
Yeah. When you read it like that, though, it seems a little unfair, doesn't it? That some of those Championship clubs as well obviously got those parachute payments when they got relegated, and they all seem to be doing, correct me if I'm wrong, but those relegated clubs are doing very well this season, right, in the Championship?
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, those parachute payments give them one hell of an advantage in that division.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a very good friend, Roland, if he's listening to this, who is a Tranmere fan, bless him. And, he's stuck by them through thick and thin, and I love that for him. And I was gutted for him when they got relegated from League 1 back to League 2 through no fault of their own. They just, if you remember, just shut the season down and said, no, that's the way it's going to be. You guys are relegated. So teams like that, Tranmere, I want them to get some money. They're a good club. They're a well-run club as well, and I want to see them succeed.
Here. Well said, that man. We've had Ashley Hesk. How are we doing, Ashley? We were just talking about Fernandinho before. Fernandinho's come out and said he wants to win the Champions League at City before he leaves. Good luck to him. Fair play, mate. That'd be amazing. But he wants to see Fernandinho given a coaching role at the end of this. But how many times have we seen a City player leave and we've said let's give him a coaching role, and it never happens, does it? It just doesn't seem to. You'd think give Zabba one, give Company one, potentially could have one, but he's got bigger aspirations. David Silva, please come back, David, and teach our kids how to play football your way. There's loads of players that you can think of that you wish we should come back in a coaching role.
They tend to slip off into the media nowadays, don't they?
Yeah, it's easy money for them, isn't it? That.
Yeah, they tend to slip out into the media, most of them. Especially our boys, because given that we're one of the top teams now, there isn't many pundits linked to City really in the past 15 years, other than we've got Micah Richards, Sean Goater. That's about it, really, isn't it? There's not many more than that.
Micah Richards is absolutely smashing it, isn't he?
Oh, he's brilliant, yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. What an absolute breath of fresh air. I'm glad they got rid of that. That panel on Sky Sports as well, the old boys club. That was doing my head in. I'm glad they've done that. Ashley Hesk again. Dad's a City fan, born near the Osborne pub in Main Road. Osborne pub, was that near Platt Lane? Oh, come on, Dave. I'm sure I've been in Fallowfield. Has it been Platt Lane, Osborne pub?
I think he was there when it was built, wasn't it?
Ashley, was that near? Ashley, was that near Platt Lane, mate? Let me know, because I'm sure I went in there before it was closed down.
Because I came off Mancunian Way, so I was more Beehive, and I don't remember Osborne. I think you could be right there. I think that could be more Platt Lane.
The other side of it. I'm sure that rings a bell. Let us know, Ashley. That'd be awesome. Where are we up to with this? Right, lads, we're going to have a bit of a chat, a 10-minute discussion here. Probably a longer bit than 10 minutes. Oh, go on.
You want to do the Who Am I for these two as well?
Yes! Right. Right, we're going to do a Who Am I. So we've done this already with Daniel. You ready for this?
Yeah.
This player started off at River Plate, then went to Bayern Munich, Then he fancied a trip to Spain, went to Malaga, Atletico Madrid, came to City, then left City, went to Espanyol, and then back to Malaga. Okay?
Stop cheating, Dave.
Dave's proper cheating there. Stop Googling, mate. Hands in the air.
Go for the play.
I've never heard him type so quickly. River Plate, Bayern Munich, Malaga, Atletico.
Martin Demichelis.
It is. Good lad. You got it. Well done, my mate. Is that the one you had, Dan, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan.
The Malaga one that gave it away.
Malaga gave it away.
It was for me that it was Malaga who actually gave that one away. Because wasn't he? Oh no, it's Atletico, wasn't it? That he signed for Atletico, and then before he even played a game, Pellegrini had signed him. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, it was a nominal fee or something like that to get him on board. Right, what I'll talk to you about. This is a very serious topic now, lads. Sergio Aguero. We need to start thinking replacements. We need to start thinking who's going to get these 20, 30 goals a season for us. So, Dan, do you want to lead the way, my mate, and talk us through your? You had 3 options, really, really strong options.
Yeah.
I've chucked Haaland. I have crowbarred Haaland in there basically because I'd like to see him at City. But I'd like to know what your 3 options are, and I quite like the idea of this. So do you want to lead the way, my friend?
Yeah, I can do. I've had one name that's slowly starting to find his way in the football world, and hopefully David Silva could maybe give him a push our way, and that's Aleksander Isaac. He's very, very talented. He's not the goal threat you'd associate with a 21-year-old, put it that way. He's a Swedish international. He only really broke into the first team last year for his previous club. And he's slowly getting there. I think he could do a job. He's a tall, lanky sob, but he's speedy as well. Another one is Jonathan David. He's a Canadian lad. He's recently signed for Lille this season. But last year, the past 2 years, he was playing for Genk and scored 30 goals in 60 games. And he's only 20 years old now. So it shows you how long he's been playing. But my main target that I really hope City would go in for is Donyell Malen of PSV. That lad, I said it about Diaz, I said it about Torres, I'm not getting big-headed like I do normally. That lad will be a superstar before long. He will be leading the charge for the Netherlands in the next 2-3 years.
Is this the Danfield and cast iron? This is another. You're putting your what's it on the block here, aren't you?
Yeah, I tell you now. If we don't sign him or if we're not linked with him, get Tixie out the club because this lad has to be in some way associated with some rumours at least. He will be a superstar.
Right, let's talk. We'll talk about him last because he excites me a little bit. So we'll save him up for the last. We'll go for Isaac first. Isaac. Yeah. We'll go for him first. So he's been in the starting 11 55% of the time. He's played 47% of the minutes. He's had a 13% goal participation. He's 1'9". What's that in English, lads? What's that in footage?
He's
no idea.
6'3", apparently.
He's 6'3". Yeah. He's 21. Do you know what? Right-sided. Looking good. So he's playing at Real Sociedad at the moment. He's not doing too bad, is he, really?
No.
Come on.
Like I say, he's only just sort of coming into it. You know, he has got a goal threat. At his previous club, he was more known for his goal contribution rather than his goal getting. But he's played for Borussia Dortmund. Played for their academy team, if you want to, Dortmund 2, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
He was on loan at Fulham in the Dutch Eredivisie, I would pronounce it, and he's scored a good amount of goals for them as well. And like I say, he's only 21. The lad has potential, and 6'3", he's crying out for the type of striker we need in terms of height.
What have we been talking about for months, lads? Tall striker. So this lad's Swedish. He's been a Swedish international since 2017. He's played 18 games for Sweden, scored 5 goals. It's not bad when you got a big head like Ibrahimovic knocking goals in as well for him. Is Ibrahimovic still playing for Sweden? I assume he is.
I think he is.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, he's probably the best striker.
Well, Sweden's playing for Ibrahimovic.
Sweden's playing for Ibrahimovic. Yeah, very good point. So the current market value of this lad is £19.8 million. Dortmund have a buyback option of €30 million. So that would be an interesting one if we sign a certain
Haaland.
Dortmund striker and he goes back in return. There's a little deal there to be done, I think, maybe.
It would make sense. I tell you, he's another one that's going to be good, but he's not one that I'd see would set the world alight, but would be a good goal scorer, good player.
Okay, I like that. Thank you very much, Dan. So the next one, Jonathan David. So Jonathan is Canadian. Wasn't expecting this one. Born in New York, in Brooklyn. Dan, Dave is over your neck of the woods, pal. Let us know a bit about Jonathan, Dan. What are your thoughts, pal?
He's not your out-and-out striker. He's more of a... I don't know what you'd really call it. He's not an attacking midfielder, but he's not an out striker. He's that goal getter, goal contributioner.
Second striker, attacking midfielder.
He's like Firmino.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But he's also quite a tall lad. He's 20 years old. He's, like I say, 30 goals and 60 appearances for Genk, and Genk aren't no pushovers. Their league's not obviously brilliant, but 30 goals and 60 appearances for an 18, 19-year-old. He's got one hell of a future ahead of him. He's only just signed for Lille. Played 16 times, I think, so far this season. Only 1 goal, so sort of tells you sort of what neck of the woods he's coming at. We're talking about a Pep team where, if Pep's obviously still going to be in charge in the next 3 or 4 years, and we were linked with him, he's that sort of player that could possibly improve like Sterling and become a goal getter, and he's got a hell of a lot more potential for me than Sterling in terms of scoring goals. But he could also do that type of Firmino role where he could be that support for the lads on the wings, such as your Ferran Torreses, such as your Raheem Sterlings, to get those extra goals. So he could be different style of striker for me.
So he's 2-footed. He's 20 years old. He's 1'8". He's in contract.
Oh, yeah, he's bang on 6 foot.
Yeah, he's in contract. His contract expires in June 2025. So there's probably less, like you say, I think there's probably less of a likelihood of getting him. We'll probably see how he's doing at Lille for a couple of years and see how he progresses. He's played for Canada since 2018. Jesus, he's scored 11 goals in 12 games for Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're playing like, I don't know, Trinidad and Tobago and, I don't know, Jamaica.
Future World Cup teams, them.
Yeah.
Come on, don't shoot me down, Dave. Don't shoot me down, please.
Well, he's doing all right. Yeah, his current market value £27 million. So I'm really interested.
That's a lot.
Yeah, 27 million. It seems a lot for that player. Bear in mind, Isaac was 19.8 million. He seems like the better option up to now, doesn't he? But come on, tell me about this other lad. Tell me about Mr. Malen.
I followed him for the past probably 2 years now in terms of his charge up to the ranks in PSV. He is a goal getter, out and out goal getter. He's not tall. I think he's about 5'7", 5'8", so he's not that striker that we've been sort of talking about in terms of height. He can score with his head though. He can jump like no tomorrow. He's like that Belotti striker I was talking about. He's a small lad, but he knows how to jump and he knows where the back of the net is with his head. But he is starting to score goals for fun. He's already in the Netherlands first team now and started. I think he's got about 1 or 2 goals for them in about 8 starts or something, 8 games, and he's come up every single rank there is in the international game and the club game and scored goals for fun.
Crikey.
And he's only 21 as well. And he's playing for PSV. So the Dutch league is no longer this weak team with just Ajax. PSV is starting to come up. Feyenoord is starting to come back into it. It'll be a future. It'll definitely be one of the world-class strikers in the next 5-6 years.
So, you're right. He's played in Netherlands under 15s, under 16s, under 17s, under 18s, under 19s, under 21s, and he's now in the full first team screen. Got 1 goal in 4 games. 21 years old, just under 6 foot, right-sided striker, can play right wing and can also play a bit on the left wing as well, apparently.
Yeah, very versatile.
Pepper like that, won't he? So of all those 3, he's the one you'd like to go. So his current market value is 22.5 million.
Steal. Absolute steal if we're going for that.
Yeah. And who's he been linked with, Dan? This is what I don't understand. If he's this good, you'd think that, you know, the Juventuses and Barças and whoever else would be keeping tabs on him.
During the summer, Ajax were going in for him. He was one of their main transfer targets because it wasn't that long ago where they sold Castor Dolberg to Nice. So Ajax were looking for that out-and-out striker. I think it's Luke de Jong there now. He's knocking on a bit, and he was linked during the summer, but he decided to stay for PSV, and obviously PSV and Ajax, massive rivals, so he didn't want to swap. In terms of Spanish teams, Real Madrid are still interested in him, but as far as that, they're the only other team that I know of.
Right. So what I want to say is we're going to discard two of these. We're going to discard Alex. We're going to discard Jonathan. We're going to have Malen and Haaland. We're going to compare those two. Okay. So according to this, Malen's worth 22.5 million. Haaland market value 90 million quid. Right, so there's a bit of a difference there, lads, isn't it? It depends who's buying him, who's paying the money. So Haaland, again, under 15s, under 16s, under 17s, 18s, 19s, under 20s and under 21s for Norway. Currently in Norway's first team, scored 6 goals in 7 games. 1.94 metres, what's that in English, Dave?
1.94, good God, so 1.8 is 6 foot. Yeah. He's a big lad.
So is he 6'4"?
That's like 6'6".
Not that, yeah.
What is he, 194?
194, mate.
Yeah, I'm 194 myself, 6'4".
Christ on a bike. Right, okay. Right.
How tall was his dad? How tall is Alfie?
I would have said 6'2". He wasn't. I
would have said he was much over 6 foot, Alfie Haaland.
Yeah.
I'll tell you in a
minute. He's sort of Leeds, isn't he? Was he born in Leeds?
Leeds, he was born in Leeds, yeah.
Yorkshire, manure in his shoes. We're all tall around here.
Are you trying to say people from Leeds are full of shit?
That as well, I didn't think of that. No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I can get away with that. I'm married to a Yorkshire girl, a Leeds girl. I'm still going to get a slap. She's not going to hear this. Haaland, Alfinger was 1.86 metres tall.
Okay, so you... Yeah, it's a 6'2".
6'2", yeah. Wasn't far off there, was it? So going back to Alfie, 8 games in the Bundesliga, 10 goals. Champions League, 4 games, 6 goals. I'd spend the 90 million quid. Do you know what, Dan? I'd spend the 90 million quid. It's not my money.
You know what? City have just... You keep saying it, Tom. At some stage, we're going to have to make a statement signing. And we're just going to have to spend the money. And I do appreciate what City have done over the years of... You know, they've balked at some of the numbers, and that's why players have gone elsewhere, and I understand that. But this is the time where we've just got to push the boat out, and whether it's 90, 100, 110, we're going to have to just do it.
He has one thing attached to him that we are not very often linked with, and that is a romance. He's attached to us for a romance for his dad, and if he's a City fan, or if he's, you know what I mean, he's got a history towards us. And there's not many lads out there, especially one that is tearing up all the leagues that he's been in. No. You know, and what? Say for say, if we was to sign him at the end of this season, you'd like to think we're getting 10 years out of him. So whatever you spend.
The thing is as well. He's one of those signings, and I'm just going to stick a flag in this. He's one of those signings that'll win us the league. We've missed out on one signing that could have won us the league 2 seasons ago that cost 75 million quid. It went to Liverpool. If we would have signed, if we would have put our fingers in our pockets and sorted out our Vincent Kompany issue with Virgil van Dijk, we probably would have won 3 leagues on the trot. If it takes 90 million quid to get somebody who's going to get us goals with a good chance of winning the league with our solid, in inverted commas, defence now, spend the money. Spend the bloody money. I have no issues with that whatsoever. And do you know what? I love Messi. I would love to see the teenager in me would be crying out to see Messi play for City. I would sacrifice Messi for Haaland every day of the week just to see us and see him play.
God, I'd sacrifice Messi for Lord bloody Nicholas Bentner, for Christ's sake.
And his paddy power pants.
Well, one thing I will add to what Brian was saying about the romance about it, his dad would have installed in his brain to absolutely hate United as well. Absolutely hate them. That's another thing I'd probably add to Haaland.
I'd like to make a point about this. Now, the way we've been in the transfer market, what, 5 years? Do you think through the stubbornness that tends to happen with the way we sign players and the way we turn players down, do you think that they will say no to Haaland and try and unearth a gem?
That is City's typical way of working, isn't it?
And that worries me because this kid is, you look at him in the same age bracket as Kylian Mbappe. But these two are going to be the Ballon d'Or winners of the future. You know, is it worth this risk in missing out on him? Let's be honest, he's not really our style of player. I don't think he fits our system very well. But you build a system around somebody who's going to score 50 goals a season.
Of course you do.
You do. You just start. You go around it. You'll do whatever you can to get those goals because those 50 goals are worth 40, 50 goals. He gets them now and he's only 20, 21.
Chris Fons has mentioned a good point on Facebook. Said Pep doesn't like signing players over 5 foot in a striker position, and I can kind of see that tooth and nail, Chris. But I kind of get your point there. It's very true. And to sign someone who's 6'4" would be a massive statement.
He's agile. He's very, very agile.
He is, and he's quick, and he can pass.
Yeah. What did I say, Dan, in our group chat on the Porto game? How many times in 90 minutes did we get to the byline and pull that ball back for someone in the 6-yard box? Yeah. It was crying out for a 6'4", 6'5" player to chip that ball into the box and just head it in the back of the bloody goal.
And on top of that, I think we had about 12 corners as well. And I don't think any single one of them found a City head.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Pep has got to be able to see that. It's beautiful, some of the football that we play, but there's more than one play of playing the game. And it's to the point, if it's going to get you goals, build the team around it. Kevin De Bruyne, Torres, Foden would have a bloody field day with assists to Haaland.
And on top of that, City are a club that know how to keep the players 9 times out of 10. Well, how many players have you looked in our past squad for the past 10 years have been there for lengthy spells?
That's it. With the club, the way you come to the club now, you know you can, if you play, you're consistent, you can be there for 10 years. You can have icon status.
Yeah.
As long as you put it in and you put a shift in. The money you'll always earn. You're never going to earn better money unless you go to one of the stupid paying clubs. Yeah.
I was saying to Tom before, we're a club that now makes world-class players. If we sign a player like Haaland, imagine what he will be.
Well, you'd like to think whatever you pay for him, you're going to make more than half of that back in marketing in the first month easily.
Yeah. Do you know what? If you sign him, do you know the last time I bought a shirt with a player on the back? It's David White, and then we sold him. A couple of months later, I was fuming, so I've never done it again. I would buy his name on the back of the shirt.
Buy Messi, please. If that's the running track record, buy Messi's, please. Just to be on the safe side.
Oh, I'd love to have a chat with David White. Dave, we need to get David White on the show.
Can I just throw one more in as well?
Please do. Yeah, this is open forum.
Me and Dan have been talking about over the last few days, which I keep hearing stronger and stronger noises about, which is Darwin Núñez.
Tell me about him.
He's a Uruguayan lad. I think he's 20. He's played for Uruguay at every level. He's definitely one of these players who's obviously got his move from South America. He's going to prove himself in the Portuguese league, and he's going to get a massive move to a massive club in the next 1 or 2 years. I think he's 6'3". I think he's scored 4 in 6 or something like that this season. He seems like City's sort of player to me, and I think his market value is 15 million right now, which is what Tixie likes.
You're not far off.
Cheap, make them a world beater.
You're not far off, right? So just to give you a bit of I've got this information for me. 16.2 million current market value. What's a million between friends, Dave? Current latest rumours, City interested in him is 1 metre 8'7", 21 years old. He's just signed a new contract though, Dave. He's just signed a new contract. That's a killer.
But surely they do that a lot of the time just to increase the market value.
True point. Yeah, he's got a 5-year contract there, so it's going to be worth an extra bit more there, isn't it? His value has shot up in the last 12 months as well. There's obviously something there that's there's obviously something there, isn't there? He's scored a couple of goals as well. He knows where the back of the net is. Can play in a forward position.
And that could be, if we're talking about money and will we pay that kind of money, that could be like Isaac as well, really. Is that a cheaper option? Someone who's a big lad, who's got the world at the feet, who we can make into an absolute world beater.
And he's doing
a finished article like Haaland, but
he's doing it on the international stage as well. Granted, he's only played 4 games, but he scored 2 goals for Uruguay, and they're no mugs.
Exactly.
What a good shout.
Can I chuck a name in the hat?
Yeah, please do. Absolutely, yeah.
It's somebody, I think it's a case of the one that got away for us. João Félix, Atletico Madrid. There's just something about his play style. We were linked with him, 3 years ago before he signed for Madrid? Atletico Madrid, was it 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
He chose them, but he's got that creativity and flair about him that Sergio Aguero had when he was a young kid at Atletico Madrid. He has something, and there's just something in my mind that thinks if you're going to chuck that money at somebody like that who in 3 or 4 years' time will be like Aguero, that similar mould. I mean, you're talking 100 million, but it's another one of those. What is he, 22?
He is.
20, he's 21. His birthday is 10th of November. Just turned 21.
Yeah, he's having a good season as well. When he joined Atletico, he didn't exactly...
He struggled a while. He struggled, but the other night in the Champions League, he was mesmeric.
Yeah. Mesmeric, nice word.
Mesmeric, yeah. But I feel like there's something in that still.
So yeah,
could be right.
So he's played 9 games in La Liga, 9 games, 5 goals, 3 assists. Champions League, 5 games, 3 goals. His current market value just shy of 90 million quid. His market value on transfer market. So he's 1'8", and he's
definitely got that.
Yeah.
False 9 in him, like like Sergio had when we
definite
signed him.
Second strike. Yeah.
When we signed Sergio, he was number 10. He played off the front man, but obviously he went on to be what he is.
Yeah.
And again,
we're in that mould of Argentinian style players. I know he's Portuguese, but he's got that flair, that South American flair player sort of style.
I know it's not Guardiola's style really, but do you think we'll ever go to a 2 up front with wingers? You were talking to Walshy yesterday, Tom.
Yeah.
We had Rossler and Walsh. I'm kind of thinking, Dan, with your Malen, who you really like, do you feel that he might be better playing in a front 2 where he's playing off a big man? Like, I know it's not Pep's style. I'm just kind of throwing out just a different formation, a different way of playing that City haven't done for years now.
No, I think in terms of Pep, I don't think so. We've seen how stubborn he is to sort of do something about his tactics. His tactics still haven't really changed. There's a slight difference in him, but the tactics are out there. I think formation would be a step too far.
I think there's actually playing 2 at the back and 4 up front, and there is playing 4-4-2. Going the other way around than having a straight partnership.
To be fair, you could play a back 3 with Edison as left back. To be fair, couldn't you?
Sweeper left back.
Yeah.
Right, let's move. This is a cracking subject. We've got 6 really big names there, 2 big spenders and potential 3, maybe 4 options on the cheaper point of view. So, Dan, who was the one that you want to stick your name in the hat on? Malen. Right, okay, fantastic.
No Melon.
There's no Melon. Ms. Malen. That names the show straight away there, doesn't it? Right, let's move on quickly, shortly. City Fulham this weekend. 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. Another one. What's that all about?
Yeah.
Bonkers this.
This has been a strange year.
It is. We didn't have one since January this year, and then we got 2 at the same in the space of 2 weekends. Absolutely bonkers. How do we think we're going to get on, lads? It's a big game. This we need to have this catalyst behind us now and push on. I think Fulham have got the leakiest defence in the league, so they must be a bit worried about us coming to playing against them.
It should be an easy game as far as I'm concerned. We're a better team. Fulham are playing into a little bit of form now. That was a brilliant result they got against Leicester. But when you look at it, the players that we rested as well, against Porto, who should be playing, you would have thought, at the weekend. We should have enough to beat them. I don't think we'll hammer them. I never think that we're going to hammer teams. I'm always surprised when we do. But yeah, I'll go because I've got to leave this call. I'm going to leave you with, and you're going to be surprised here, Tom. Manchester City 3, Fulham 1.
No draw. What?
Dave.
Wow. If you're a new listener to the podcast, the YouTube show, that's groundbreaking right there. Okay.
We've not the first time you've given us a win in your predictions. I'm sure it is.
Yeah. So I apologize. So the reason Tom's now shaking his head is we're going to lose on Saturday. And it's all going to be my fault.
He's jinxed us. We're going to get absolutely spanked. Right. See you later, pal. See you in a bit.
Take care, pal.
So just to carry on from this, we're into a situation where this could genuinely be. So where we 2 wins on the bounce to win this weekend. Do you know what? If the results go for us this weekend, we could be in the top 4.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like a big thing, but we're only 6 points away from the top, so it's not all doom and gloom. Granted, it's been a bonkers season. We all know that. I'm going to stop using that phrase soon. But I thought we're further away than that. It's not that bad, really, when the grand scheme of things. But we need to win. There's an underlining between this. What's your thoughts, Brian?
I think all games are must-win now till Christmas.
Yeah.
Even over the Christmas period, we've got to win them all. We've got to be, at the turn of the year, we've got to be top 4 within a couple of points of that.
Yeah.
That thing, because we're going to get injuries. Other teams will get injuries. You know what I mean? It'll start balancing out eventually. So you've got to strike now while the opportunity is there. I actually got the draw in midweek, and last week on one of the posts that you did, I actually said 6-0 against Burnley, so I weren't far off.
Oh, what are you thinking? What are you thinking on Friday and Saturday then?
I generally think there's another pasting coming. I'm going to go over another 5-0.
Oh yeah, right. All right.
I think we're in a bit of form. Get these guys a few goals, you know.
You're not worried, are you? You're not worried?
No. Inside, it could be 5-2. You never know. They could be 2-0 at half time. But I think it's time now. We're starting to get players fit. You know, look at John Stones has come back. He looks like a new man.
Yeah.
Mendy's come back and had a cracking game. You know what I mean? These guys are back in the team now and backing around it. A bit of positivity. It's all rubbing off. We've got a stop. Me and you spoke about the other night, Tom. We've got a solid defence now. So I think it could be one of those games where, you know, Sterling's been under a bit of pressure, really. He could easily score 4 at the weekend. You know, Mahrez did it last week. I personally was calling for Mahrez to be dropped last week when he started, and I was like, come on, I just been playing. You know, and then obviously he scored an hat-trick, so, you know, this week could be Sterling's turn for that.
What are you thinking, Dan?
I have to sort of completely agree. I do think there'll be another pasting. At the same time, you know me, I tend to be the most confident out of all of us. I can still see a little bit of, was the Burnley result a one-off from the recent games we've been playing, but fingers crossed we can knock on. I think there'll be a definite improvement from midweek. There has to be, because that was the most boring football game I think I've ever seen. We have to score, because if we go 2 games on the trot without scoring, that midweek fixture was the first time in City's Champions League history in the group stage we failed to score a single goal. That is just not good enough. Even for a Pep Guardiola team, it's not good enough. So I think Fulham will be a bit overconfident with their win against Leicester, thinking their season might kick on, and I think City will exploit that and get in behind them. As long as we can rattle Mitrovic up a little bit, if we can get him peed off a little bit, I think the attack won't be anything to worry about, and their defence is shocking.
Do you think they'll come to play and give us a game, or do you think they'll just come 2 banks of 4 and sit back?
Scott Parker is one of them that he doesn't respect other teams in the professional manner. He will go out and play the way he wants them to play, no matter what the opposition. I love that about a manager. But Fulham can't sit back and defend, because if they do, they're going to get battered either way. So they might as well try and give City a game. And all the teams that have done in recent years, especially last year, Southampton, they gave us a game and got a goal, and then they sat back and defended really well, and they knew how to play it. Fulham are one of them. If they get a goal, they can't sit back and defend, so they're going to have to keep trying to plug in another. So I think it's going to be a very open game. But at the same time, with that happening, with the leaky defence of theirs, there's big scoreline for City.
So as we stand at the minute, 9 games played. We're 6 points off top spot. However, we do have a game in hand against Spurs and Liverpool, which is obviously a real bonus. It's a 2:45 kickoff. 2:45 starting on BT1. You were talking about 2:45 the other day, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
It's definitely a 3 o'clock kickoff. It starts on BT at 2:45, just to be absolutely sure of that. I don't do predictions, but do you know what? I'm not even going to go there because I said the same thing against Porto, Matt. So no, I'm not doing it. I'm not predicting anything. Sod it. No, I'm not doing it. Sorry, lads. I'm not having any of that. Do you think Sergio will play? Do you not think he'll be risked?
No. Jesus will start.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think Jesus, Ferran Torres, and Sterling will be. Actually, I don't know Mahrez, mate, because he didn't play midweek.
I think Mahrez has got to start. I mean,
yeah.
He's been poor for weeks. Scores an hat-trick, and if you drop him, I think.
Knackered.
Yeah.
This is Pep, though, isn't it? This anything could happen.
I'm going to use that. I nearly use the word again. Mesmerised. I think he's got I think he appreciates Mahrez a bit more than anybody else does. He definitely sees something, and it's definitely something I don't see. I don't see it often. You don't see it enough. I mean, I don't want to go off on a tangent about Mahrez because he gets me a bit wound up, but I don't like to see the ball slow down so much.
No.
What Mahrez does. He's lost it. He doesn't take anybody on him. He'll take somebody on one-on-one in the box, but for me, he's just not decisive enough when he gets the ball out wide. Everyone knows his game. He gets the ball, slows it down, cuts inside, crosses it to the back post. That's Mahrez's game. Yeah. Getting running one-on-one with people, he scores hat-tricks. So.
One positive I will say about him, going on the back of what you said then, Brian, he has received, including from myself, so much stick from every City fan at one point so far this season and majority of last season. And I love, absolutely, we were talking about commitment earlier, me and Tom. I love how he still comes out and sort of plays the same game, but he has tweaked it to become a bit more of a team player. And he's taking all that grief, and he looks like he's channeled it a little bit and become that sort of better player. So I hope he can push on and become that player we expected to sign for the amount of money we paid for him.
Do you think we've had our money's worth out of him?
Not yet, but I know Laney's going to say something because of how much I've dug at him a little bit. I do still think we've yet to see the best of Mahrez at City, and I do think it will come this season. And we're forgetting he is City's top scorer this year. That's relatively unheard of. But then again, we've hardly scored, so.
To answer the question, we don't have money's worth for him. Nowhere near. He's got another couple. No, nowhere near. I don't think. I think there's more to come.
Yeah.
What more can he give? What
consistency.
More?
His game's changing. I was on about it last weekend. I've seen a lot more of a team player, and if you can adapt that to become more of a team player, if he assists more, he'll get the assist more, he'll find that space. I agree with Tom. There's a lot more to come.
So we'll see. Right, chaps. Unless you've got anything else to add, I think we'll leave it there. You've given your predictions. I'm not touching that one with a barge pole.
6-1 I'm going for.
6-1. Did you not give us a prediction? 6-1. So we've got 6s, we've got 4s, we've got 3s. Loads of confidence and positivity going into tonight, lads. That's what I love to see. It's Thursday. Got a couple of days till match day. There's plenty to go wrong yet. I'm not saying it. No, I'll take that back. Right, lads. Love you and leave you. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching the Manchester is Blue show. I'm Tom. We've had Brian. We've had Dan. We've had Dave on tonight. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching or you're listening to this on a podcast, go to your podcast provider. Give us a 5-star review. And I will love you forever. Thank you very much, and have a good night. Say good night, lads.
Take care, lads. All the best, everyone.